Today we have with us Mr. Manas Ghosh, an eminent veteran war journalist and an author who served a pivotal role as a war correspondent during the 1971 war. Mr. Ghosh became a journalist in 1966 and has had a career spanning over 50 years. During the 1971 war, he was a war correspondent with the Statesman newspaper. Major Mohit Seth, Sena Medal, Visis Seva Medal Bar, to deliver the keynote address.
So on this momentous occasion of the 53rd Vijay Diwas, on behalf of Lieutenant General Ramchandra Tiwari, Uttam Yuddha Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Sena Medal, General Officer Commanding in Chief, Eastern Command, I welcome these distinguished members of the media fraternity. And formally, I also extend a warm welcome to our veteran journalist, Mr. Ghosh, Mrs. Ghosh, who had covered the 1971 war from ground zero. As we speak, all of 53 years ago, at the same time and date of 6th December 71, the Indian Army was involved in fierce battles all along East Pakistan and India border. The Mukti Bahini was fully integrated into these operations and provided exceptional support to defeat the enemy forces. Let me go back further in time. The partition of the Indian subcontinent in 1947 that led to the formation of West and East Pakistan unfortunately overlooked some of the basic constituents of a nation in form of geography, culture, and of course linguistic dimensions. Ever since partition, the people of East Pakistan were treated as inferiors by their Western counterparts, who tried to impose their own culture and language on this Bengali populace. The refusal of West Pakistan authorities to honor popular mandate of the 1970 elections set in motion a series of events that, as we all know, eventually culminated in the birth of a new nation. With the denial of equal representation in government, lack of freedom of expression, and very meager economic development, the people of Bangladesh rightfully demanded equal rights, which first started in the form of peaceful protests. And to quell these peaceful demands, Pakistan Army unleashed unprecedented levels of violence and atrocities on the Bengali populace. This was called Operation Searchlight. It was launched by Pakistan, during which thousands of Bengali nationalists were killed, arrested, and it finally proved to be that turning point. These repressive actions spurred the native Bengalis to pursue their struggle for freedom from oppressive Pakistani dispensation. However, with ever increasing brutality by the Pakistan Army, large number of people fled East Pakistan to seek refuge in India. Many of them came to our own state as well. You all are aware that on 3rd December 1971, Pakistan launched a series of airstrikes on our country, thus drawing us into the war. Responding to unprovoked aggression, India retaliated with full might and full measure, unleashing a multi-pronged attack on Pakistan. Now in the Eastern Theatre, along with our brave friends, the Mukti Jodhas, and the civil population of East Pakistan, the speed and strength of Indian offensive eventually led to the capitulation of the Pakistan Armed Forces in East Pakistan. This remarkable achievement, as we all have heard, it demonstrated our strong national will and commitment to support our friends and our neighbors. In just 13 days, it was just a 13-day war, Dhaka fell to the Indian Armed Forces and the Mukti Jodhas. Lieutenant General Niazi, with all his Pakistani troops, surrendered to the Indian Armed Forces, led by Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora, who was the General Officer Commanding in Chief, Eastern Command. Furthermore, in an excellent diplomatic maneuver, the Indian government secured the release of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman from Pakistan, who became the first Prime Minister of Bangladesh in January 72. I must also take this opportunity to highlight that true to our national values, the units of Indian Army started to exit Bangladesh from Jan 72 itself, and within 3 months, the last of the Indian units exited by March 1972. Our two nations share a common ancient history and culture, and our defense forces have also shared a cordial relationship over these many years through a number of joint exercises, training, courses. Here at Fort William, where we sit today, and where we hold this curtain raiser today, we take great pride that Eastern Command was the center, and it was at the center stage of the historic struggle and fight against the oppressive dispensation of West Pakistan. And it is therefore apt that the epic victory be celebrated in a befitting manner at this very Eastern Command headquarters at Fort Williams. War veterans who had taken part during the 71 war will be attending events as they unfold. Eastern Command will be conducting a series of events which includes an interaction with our war veterans, military tattoo, wreath laying, and so on.
I am very glad, very pleased that, my professional fraternity friends are here in large number for the occasion, especially because for the things that have happened across the border, it needs to be highlighted, as to where to Bangladesh is heading and what should be our policy towards this neighbor of ours, this presently troublesome neighbor of ours. My mind travels back 53 years ago. On this day, 6th of December, Jessore was liberated. And I was an embedded journalist with the 9th Mountain Division led by Major General Dalbir Singh. The Pakistani forces led by Brigadier Hayat Khan, there was a full brigade posted in Dhaka, in Jessore, which got hounded out by our 9th Mountain Div, and they started fleeing towards Khulna. So this day I remember how the people of Jessore town, came out on the streets and greeted the valiant Jawans of the Indian Army with open arms, and I don't know what would be their reaction today if they go to Jessore now, because a lot of water has flown down the Ganga since then, and Bangladesh is now a ball game. I don't want to go into that, but I feel nostalgic about, my coverage of the Bangladesh war from 6 to 17 December when Khulna fell, and when Brigadier Hayat surrendered to the Indian Army, to the Joint Command of the Indian Army and the Mukti Bahini. This what you call, what ground is it? circuit house ground of Khulna. It was a tumultuous event. Lakhs of people have converged on the circuit house Maidan to see the surrender ceremony because the Pakistani army, the fourth brigade had put up a stiff resistance. In fact, some of the grimmest battles that took place during the 13-day war were fought in the Khulna sector. The Battle of Shiromani, there are certain regiments of the Indian Army which own the battle honors. Battle of Shiromani and Fultala is one of those, are two of those. So fiercest battles. I was witness to some of the glorious scenes that I have seen in my life. You know, for headless Jawans, bodies of headless Jawans being brought to the MI room and for you know whatever could the doctors do to them. But that's all of the past.